Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to see what is functional and non-functional testing, its types and examples. So let's get started. So today's agenda, we will see what we are going to cover. We are going to cover types of testing, what is functional testing, non-functional testing, some common types of software testing. So what are types of software testing? Software testing is generally classified into two main broad categories, that is functional testing and non-functional testing. So again, functional testing is again classified into unit testing, integration testing, interface testing, system testing, regression testing, and user acceptance testing. Non-functional is classified into documentation testing, installation testing, performance testing, reliability testing, security testing. Again, performance testing is classified into load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, and volume testing. So what is functional testing? Functional testing, as the name suggests, means to check the functionality of the software based on SRS, which is software requirement. The main objective of functional testing is to validate the functionality of the software and ensure that it is in compliance with the business requirements stated by the client before the commencement of the project. So let's see an example of an e-commerce website. As part of its functional testing, you must check the following, which is registration is successful or not. Login or logout with the registered ID is possible or not. Keep me sign in working properly or not. Homepage dashboard for the user is displayed or not. Forgot password, change password, edit profile is working as described in the requirement document or not. So add to cart, checkout, billing address, delivery address are working as expected or not. So these are the basic functionality you will see for an e-commerce website when you are trying to do functional testing. So validation on all scenario should be covered as part of functional testing for an e-commerce website. Now let's see what is non-functional testing. Non-functional testing is the testing of non-functional aspects of an application, such as performance, reliability, usability, security, and so on. Non-functional tests are performed after the functional test. With non-functional testing, you can improve your software quality to a great extent. Functional tests also improve the quality, but with non-functional tests, you have the opportunity to make your software even better. Non-functional testing allows you to polish the software. This kind of testing is not about whether the software works or not. Rather, it is about how well the software runs and many other things. Non-functional tests are not generally run manually. In fact, it's difficult to perform this kind of tests manually. So these tests are usually executed using tools. So let's see some common types of software testing, including function as well as non-functional testing. So unit testing. Testing each component or module of your software project is known as unit testing. To perform this kind of testing, knowledge of programming is necessary. So only programmers do this kind of test, not testers. Integration testing. After integrating the modules, you need to see if the combined modules work together or not. This type of testing is known as integration testing. You need to perform fewer integration tests than unit test. Some good tools for unit and integration testing are Jasmine, Mocha, etc. End-to-end testing. End-to-end testing is the functional testing of the entire software system. When you test the complete software system, such testing is known as end-to-end testing. You need to perform fewer end-to-end tests than integration tests. Cucumber, Protector, Jasmine, Karma, etc. are some of the great end-to-end testing tools. User acceptance testing. User interface testing involves the testing of the application user interface. The aim of UI test is to check whether the user interface have been developed according to what is described in the requirements specification document. By running UI test, you can make the application's user interface more user friendly and appealing to the eyes. Some great automated user interface testing tools are Monkey Test for Android Protector, etc. Accessibility testing. Testing whether your software is accessible to disabled people or not is termed as accessible testing. For this type of test, you need to check if disabled people, such as those who are colorblind, deaf, can use our application. The right choice of color and contrast needs to be made to make your software accessible to colorblind people. Alpha testing. Alpha testing is a kind of testing to look for all the errors and issue in the entire software. This kind of test is done at the last phase of the application development and is performed at the place of the developers before launching the product or before delivering it to the client to ensure that the user client get an error-free software application. Alpha testing is run before the beta testing, which means that after performing alpha testing, you need to run beta testing. Alpha testing is not performed in the real environment. Rather, this kind of test is done by creating a virtual environment that resembles a real environment. Beta testing. Beta testing is done before the launch of the product. It is carried out in a real user environment by a limited number of actual customers or users in order to be certain that the software is completely error free and it functions smoothly. After collecting feedback and constructive criticism from those users, some changes are made to make the software better. So when the software is under beta testing, it is called beta version of the software. After this testing is complete, the software is released to the public. Ad hoc testing. As the name suggests, ad hoc testing is a kind of testing that is performed in an ad hoc manner without using any test case, any plans, documentation, or system. Unlike all other types of testing, this kind of testing is not carried out in a systematic manner. Although finding errors can be difficult without using test case, there are technical issues that are easily detected through an ad hoc test, but are hard to find through other testing approaches that uses test cases. This informal type of software testing can be executed by any person involved within the project. Compatibility testing. Compatibility testing involves compatibility checking of the software with different operating systems, web browser, network environments, hardware, and so on. It checks whether the developed software application is working fine with different configurations. To give you a few examples, if the software is a Windows app, it should be checked whether it is compatible with different version of the Windows operating system. If it's a web application, it is tested whether the app is easily accessible from different version of the widely used web browsers. And if it's an Android app, it should be checked whether it is working well with all the commonly used version of the Android operating system. Performance testing. Performance tests are run to check if the software's performance is good or not. There are performance testing tools that analyze your application performance and show you the performance issues. By fixing those issues, you will be able to increase the performance of your software application. Some great performance testing tools are uh, Apache JMeter, Load Learner, Load Impact, Rational Performance Tester, etc. Load testing. Load testing is one kind of performance testing that tests how much load a system can take before the software performance begins to degrade. By running load test, we can know the capacity of taking load of a system. You can run load test using tools like Load Runner, WebLoad, JMeter, etc. Recovery testing. Recovery testing involves the checking of whether the application can recover from crashes and how well it recovers. In this kind of test, testers observe how well the software can come back to the normal flow of execution. Crashes can happen anytime, even if your software is of exceptional quality. You don't know when they may take place and annoys the users. So you have to implement mechanism that will recover the software application quickly, that will make the application run smoothly again. Security testing. Security tests are performed to ensure the security of your application in order that security breaches can be prevented. Security experts run this kind of test to see how much your software is secure from attacks and to find security issues so that the app's security can be strengthened. The tools include Grabber, SQL Map, ZAdAct, Proxy, etc. Usability testing. Testing the user friendliness of an application is called as usability testing. It involves the checking of how much usable or user friendly the app is. It is tested whether any user can easily use your software without getting stuck. One of the best ways to test the usability of your software is to invite a few people to use your software. See if they can do certain things in your app without taking any help from you. So 5-second test, chalk mark, etc. are few of the usability testing tools. So thanks for watching. Hope this video was helpful for you. Please subscribe, like and share my video. Thanks.